So how did you decide to go from making quilts to actually doing long arm quilting?
Well, so when we lived in Australia, for some reason I reached out to some fabric manufacturers, or maybe they reached out to me. I can't remember how it started. It was with Free Spirit, Cloud9, I think Wyndham. Anyway, they would send me their, new fabric before it had been released, and I would make a quilt, write a pattern, quilt it, and send it back so they can have it at Quilt Market. So, I would design the quilt, I would make the quilt, I would quilt the quilt, I would write the pattern, and boom, it was in the booth, whatever booths were around back at Quilt Market. And that was really fun, but sometimes the quilts would get so big, they were hard for me to quilt on my little Bernina. Like, I have a Bernina and I love it. And I just thought that's how everybody quilted their quilts. I didn't know that there was a such thing as a long arm. Um, but when we were in Australia, everything is about Australia. Woo! It's great. I did there were these horrible fires in 2009, like bushfires, houses were exploding, so many people were losing everything. It was so sad. And I was like, oh, this is the saddest thing. I want to make a couple quilts to give, to donate, right? As we do as quilters. And so I had a blog at the time, my Can't Follow Her Bag blog, and I put a call for quilt blocks. And I said, send me a 12.5-inch wonky star, like a liberated star, and make it like scrappy and then put a light background on it. And I would make some quilts. I thought I would have enough quilt blocks to make maybe 3 quilts, right? Between me, the ones I could make, and the ones that whoever read my blog would send me. Guess how many blocks I got?
Oh, I'm afraid to guess because quilters are pretty generous.
No. I got enough blocks to make, just to make 130 quilts. Yeah. Like
Wow. And
that's so
were
many.
they only
That's
coming from
so many.
Australia?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I also got donated tops. I think we had well over 200 quilts that we donated to the relief program that was going on in Victoria. It was pretty cool.
That's amazing.
So I had all these blocks. I had to do something. I couldn't make them all myself. That's insane. So I joined a quilt guild in Australia, in Alice Springs. And those ladies, they came together. We made those quilts. One brought in a Grace frame with her sewing machine on it. And that's how we quilted the quilts. I was like, genius. This is amazing. I need this in my life. So fast forward to when we were in Texas and I was making all these quilts for, the quilt industry, for Quilt Market. I was like, there's got to be a better way. So I got online and I found out that there was a lady in town who was selling her like 1990 Gamble Supreme. So it was like an old machine and I bought it. I loved it. I had it set up in my garage. It's so hot in Texas in the summer, and I was there quilting with fans blowing. It was amazing. And that changed my life. Let me tell you, the Gamble changed my life. It was so cool to move from, moving the quilt and that struggle to boom, all of a sudden you're standing, you could see the whole thing, and you're totally free. It's awesome.